He's 34 years old. He has a good job. He pays his own rent. But when his flight gets delayed, he calls his mother. When he's sad, he shuts down and disappears for 3 days. And when you ask him to plan date night, he says, "I don't know, whatever you want." He's not a bad person. He's not lazy. He's something psychologists call a man-child, and by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why he became this way, and why you, specifically, might be the one who keeps ending up with him. A man-child isn't just an immature guy. That's the surface description. What's actually happening underneath is this: he is an adult in body, but emotionally, he stopped developing at a certain age. He can hold a job. He can pay bills. But when it comes to emotional responsibility, conflict, vulnerability, discomfort, he reverts to a child's coping mechanisms. He avoids. He deflects. He waits for someone else to fix it. This isn't a character flaw people are born with. It's a pattern that was built, usually starting in childhood, and reinforced every single day since. Here's where it gets interesting. In psychology, we talk about something called attachment style, the blueprint we develop as children for how relationships are supposed to work. And most man-child behavior traces back to one specific pattern: the overfunctioning mother, the underfunctioning father. Picture this childhood: a mother who did everything for him. Cooked, cleaned, solved every problem, absorbed every emotion so he never had to sit in discomfort. Meanwhile, a father who was either physically absent or emotionally checked out, someone who never modeled what it looks like for a man to handle hard feelings like an adult. The result? A boy who never learned 2 critical skills. 1. How to self-soothe, because someone always did it for him. 2. How to see a woman as anything other than the person who manages his emotional life. So he grows up. He starts dating. And without even realizing it, he's not looking for a partner, he's looking for the next version of his mother. Someone to anticipate his needs, absorb his moods, and make the hard feelings disappear. This is called an anxious avoidant pattern in attachment psychology. He craves comfort, but the second real intimacy is required, the kind that means being vulnerable, not just being taken care of, he avoids it completely. Now here's the part most videos skip. If men-children are so predictable, why do smart, successful, self-aware women keep ending up with them? The answer isn't bad luck. It's compatibility of wounds. Many women who are drawn to man-child partners grew up learning that love equals labor, that being needed is the same as being wanted. If you grew up in a household where you had to manage a parent's emotions, or earn love through caretaking, your nervous system actually feels familiar, even comfortable, around a man who needs managing. It doesn't feel like a red flag. It feels like home. Because it is home, it's a replay of a pattern you learned a long time before you ever met him. This is why the smartest woman in the room can still find herself explaining, for the 5th time, why leaving wet towels on the bed is disrespectful, while quietly wondering why she keeps having the same conversation, just with a different man's name attached to it. The man-child doesn't need a villain. He needs someone who was trained to overfunction around someone else's underfunctioning. Put those 2 people in a room, and the pattern completes itself. So how do you spot this pattern before you're 6 months deep? A few signals. He treats decisions as your job: where to eat, what the relationship is, how to fix a conflict, it's always thrown back to you. He goes quiet during conflict, not because he's processing, but because he's waiting for it to blow over without him having to do anything. He's generous with affection when things are easy, but disappears, emotionally or literally, the moment things get hard. And the biggest one, he apologizes to end the conversation, not to change the behavior. None of these mean he's evil. They mean his emotional maturity stalled at a stage most people pass through around 15 or 16, and nobody ever asked him to catch up. Here's the honest answer: yes, he can change, but only under one condition: he has to feel the discomfort of his own patterns, without someone rescuing him from it. If you keep managing his emotions for him, you're not helping him grow. You're doing exactly what his mother did, which means you're not his partner anymore. You're his replacement parent. Real change only starts when the emotional labor stops being outsourced to you. The uncomfortable truth is this: the man-child isn't the only one repeating a childhood pattern. If this video made you think of someone specific, or, if you're honest, made you think of yourself, that's not an accident. If you want to understand your own attachment style and why you keep attracting the same pattern, let me know in the comments. That might be the next video. Subscribe if you want more of this. See you in the next one.